Hey there guys, and welcome back. This week's show is going to take a little bit of a twist, something a little different. I've noticed that there's been a lot of questions online regarding how to coat your end grain cutting boards. So what I'm going to do this week is I'm going to trade in my woodworking apron for a kitchen apron, and we're going to go into the kitchen today, take a block of wax and some mineral oil, and I'm going to show you guys how to make your own food safe coating for your end grain cutting boards. So this particular step may not pertain to you, but the first thing I want to do is I want to cut this big block of wax into some workable pieces. So I've never really cut wax, I'm not quite sure how to do it, so we're going to try the bandsaw and see how that works out for us. Okay, so that went over like a bag of wet cement. Let's try the scroll saw. See if that works. Okay, so the scroll saw seemed to be the way to go. And what happened was the blade heats up in the scroll saw and it actually seals the edges back together. So although it cuts it apart, it still remains one block, but it's very easy just to snap it apart to get your smaller workable pieces. So now I'm going to take these smaller workable pieces and I'm going to grate them up. So what I've got here is I've got just a regular cheese grater with a container in it. I stole this out of the kitchen when my wife wasn't looking. She'll probably kill me later, but hey, you know what? Who said woodworking was a safe hobby? Anyway, what you want to do is you want to grate up some of this wax. I'm not going to grate a whole lot of it. I'm just going to grate some of it because the entire recipe to make a batch that lasts quite a bit is actually a small amount of wax. It's actually only 2 tablespoons of it. So I'm going to continue on to grate some of this wax here and get what I need for this batch. And when I'm done, I'll come back and show you the next step. We'll probably head to the kitchen at that point in time. Alright, so there we have it. There is our grated wax. And of course the only reason for grating this is just to make it easier to melt. You don't have to grate it, you can cut it up into a block or whatnot, and you can go from there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to head into the kitchen and we'll continue with the next step. So here we are in the kitchen, looking the part, I might add. You want to get your mineral oil, and you're going to need 1 cup of this, and as well you're going to need 13 grams of your shredded wax. For you American friends out there, that's just under ½ an ounce. So now we're going to get a small saucepan and get it going on the burner. So what you want to do is you want to place your mineral oil in a saucepan on the burner, medium to medium high heat. Once you get the mineral oil warmed up, you want to take your grated wax and just add it to the oil. At this point, you just want to stir it up and keep an eye on your wax until all the wax is completely melted and gone clear throughout the oil. But we've got all of the wax melted in the mineral oil and it's completely clear. And at this point in time now, you want to remove it from the heat. Now you can either use this mixture hot or you can let it cool and use it cold. Once it cools, it will go almost a frosty white color. So don't panic, that's the way it's supposed to look. So in this jar here, I've got an old batch of the mixture, and you can see the color that it is. It's milky white and it's almost like a thick paste. But I'm just going to add the stuff that I just mixed up to this container, and I'll stir that through and we'll let that cool. So here we have the concoction that I cooked up today. You can see that it's gone firm and it's a milky white color. This is the bottom of the board that I made for my wife, and this one's been coated many times. I just want to show you how easy it is to recoat it once it's already been treated. You can see it's quite firm, but you just want to, with a piece of paper towel, just smear this stuff over the board. You don't have to be shy with it. Give it a generous coating and let it soak in. Going around all the feet there. And now we'll flip it over. Give the edges a little white. And now we'll do the top side. And again, we'll just take a little spoonful of this mixture, and with that same piece of paper towel, just smear it around. And it will sink in and soak into the end grain. Bring the board back to looking brand new and protect it when you're using it, when you're washing it. And that there is it. So I'll let that soak in for 10-15 minutes, and then we'll take a clean piece of paper towel and wipe it off. So we've let this sit, and we're just going to take a dry piece of paper towel and just gently wipe off any excess that might still be sitting on the board. And that's all there is to it. Anytime the board is looking dry, guys, give it a coat. Even though you may not know if it needs it, you're not going to overdo it. If it's dry, give it a coat. And there you have it. A perfect coating for your end grain cutting boards. If it's a brand new board, you want to go on the formula of coating it for once a day for a week, then once a week for a month, and then once a month for the rest of the board's life. It's a great coating, it is food safe, and what you want to do with it is lather it on thick, let it soak into the grain, and then after about a half an hour or so, wipe off the excess. If you follow that formula, you'll have no problem with your board, and it'll give you many years of great use. Guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you again next week with another woodworking or maybe cooking video. Take care.